protests here in Hampton Roads and around the country, calling for gun reforms. But those calls have gone unanswered here in Virginia, where state lawmakers did not pass any meaningful gun bills during their recent session. Dr. Quentin Kidd, the director of the Wason Center for Public Policy at Christopher Newport University, says both sides are dug in on the issue.
Gun control is just this very polarizing issue. And before legislators ever get to the General Assembly, they have staked out polar opposite positions.
Polling from earlier this year shows 84% of Virginia voters support background checks for private gun sales. 65% say they support banning assault-style weapons, and philosophically, 54% of Virginians say it's more important to control who can buy a gun, while 41% say it's more important to protect the rights of gun owners. The issue getting renewed attention because a gunman shot and killed 17 people during a school day in Parkland, Florida in February. So why can't any laws pass here?
We're in a stalemate.
The General Assembly is controlled by the Republicans, and Kidd says the National Rifle Association has sway over those lawmakers.
The Republicans running for office, candidates running for office, really care about what the NRA thinks.
It's hard to find estimates on just how many NRA members there are in Virginia, but its headquarters is located in the Commonwealth. And while there's been lots of talks over whether the NRA is too influential, Culpeper delegate Nick Freitas called out Democrats in a fiery speech over suggestions their side is bought.
But it does start with a certain degree of mutual respect. It starts with a certain degree of not assuming that the only reason why we believe in the Second Amendment is because the NRA paid us off. Well, if that's the sort of logic you want to use, why don't you go take a look at how much money the NRA spends and how much money Planned Parenthood spends?
Freitas is running to challenge Senator Tim Kaine this fall, but says his speech came from frustration over name-calling by Democrats. His speech has millions of views online.
What's influential on me is the belief that you have a right to defend yourself. The NRA also happens to agree with that position.
Republicans, like Freitas, say the focus should be on protecting kids at school. Lawmakers in Richmond formed a committee to address school safety, but there's been some criticism about the committee because it is not talking about guns.
So how can you have a discussion about violence and gun violence without talking about guns? That makes absolutely no sense.
I'm every bit as dedicated to ensuring that our students are safe in schools, but when you're telling me the only solution is to disarm law-abiding citizens, I'm going to be concerned about that.
Answers may not be easy and depend on which side you're on as the debate is caught in political crossfire. I'm Brendan Ponton, News 3.